Hello folks, and welcome back to the Vision of Veritas here. So last night I watched the debate Oz versus Fetterman. I don't know if any of you got a chance to do that, but the only word that I can think to use to describe what I witnessed and what a lot of people witnessed was a train wreck. And it's not just because of Fetterman's inability to answer and comprehend questions. I also really didn't like the fact that Oz is a lukewarm Republican just like Pat Toomey. The unfortunate part of this is Oz has the makings of a rhino, and collectively we have to stop that. That's a huge problem that is absolutely not what our nation needs. But of the two choices, I mean, it's obvious who I do support, and there's a lot of valid reasons for that. Now, I actually am going to go through the whole debate here. Yes, it is going to be long, but I think it's really important that we do that. I want to preface this by stating my commentary will have absolutely nothing to do with the effects and the aftermath displayed with regards to Fetterman's stroke. On a purely human level, it's very unfortunate what happened to him. On a policy level, his policies are just as bad now as they were prior to his stroke. So my commentary will have nothing whatsoever to do with his stroke. Now, when we watch this here, I truly believe that Fetterman as a whole doesn't know the answers to some of these questions. The reason why I'm saying this is because you can tell when he gets a little flustered, and then it's almost like a default. He defaults to kind of throwing a cheap shot out at his opponent, Oz. And usually it's a personal attack. Now, as far as political debates go, I'm all for attacking your opponent as long as it's about the politics of the opponent. That's what these debates are for. But I have a problem with the cheap shots because you don't know the answer to the question, or you simply don't understand the question. So you default to an ad hominem answer. And it doesn't do anybody good. It makes you look like a moron.
Turning now to foreign policy, Mr. Fetterman, what do you believe is the greatest foreign threat to the United States of America? You have 60 seconds.
I believe, is right now is China. I believe China is not our friend, and I believe that we can't be able to push back, and we need to stand against China. And I believe that Dr. Oz has chosen to manufacture all of his merchandise on his name on it in China. Which one of us on this stage is going to stand up against and stand firm against China? And I believe that's our single biggest issue right now, to make sure that we address China and make sure that we know that it's not our friend.
Mr. Oz, what do you believe is the greatest foreign threat to the United States of America? You have 60 seconds.
The fact that our country is not projecting strength. Take, for example, what we're doing with Iran. In order to try to get them to give us a little oil so we can deal with the catastrophe that Russia has caused, we have gone to them and tried to sign a deal that would allow them once again to have the nuclear power to blow up Israel, which they promised they would do. John Fetterman supports that deal. It doesn't make any sense for America to treat our enemies better than our allies. We have to message with our strong voice and the energy we have in our country that we have control over our future. And the best way for America to establish its dominance is to unleash the energy here in Pennsylvania and across the country. By not doing that, not only do we cause all kinds of problems with local jobs and inflation, but we're destroying our ability to remain energy dominant, and we're not able to become allies like we should be for countries like European nations, which are going to struggle with their coldest winter ever. It's the best way to punch Putin back and to teach China a lesson is American energy to reign supreme. And John Fetterman doesn't like American energy, and they are scared of him because they know they can't trust him. He's proven.
Wow. I am so very glad that Fetterman came to the painfully obvious conclusion that China is not our friend. Remarking on where Oz gets some of his stuff manufactured is really a cheap shot, and it's to divert attention away from the fact that he can't answer the question other than saying, China is not our friend. Now, with regards to Oz's answer, he started to answer this very well. He brought up the fact that we don't project power anymore. We project weakness, and that is the problem being the United States of America. Now, where he went astray on this question and it's kind of a point of confusion that I would like more clarification. Not too long ago, he was talking about domestic energy production, and now he's complaining about us having to go to a foreign nation to get our energy, and he is complaining about how we're having to beg to do it. Those two ideas are mutually exclusive. You either want to go to our foreign enemies to get oil, or you don't. I don't want to. The vast majority of Americans should not want to do this. But listening to it a little bit more, I think he said it more of kind of a segue into Iran is now bolstering their nuclear capabilities. And Oz is absolutely correct. Iran has outright said on multiple occasions that it wants to completely wipe Israel from the face of the map. Now, I don't know about you, but I've got a huge problem with that. Israel is our strongest ally in the Middle East, and there are even some arguments to be made that it is our strongest ally in the world. And Oz does make a very good point that threatening our allies is not the smartest move for our enemies to do. But because our country, due to Biden's policies, because we don't project power anymore, our enemies aren't scared. And because they no longer fear us, they think they can do whatever they damn well please. Russia has done just that. If Trump was still in office, Russia would have never invaded Ukraine. If you stuck around and listened to this entire thing, I cannot say how appreciative I am of you. For doing so. You didn't have to do that. Please listen to it, share it to your friends, take it to heart. If you've learned anything from this, please like, share, and subscribe. Like I said earlier, please send this to your friends. I need all the help I can get with expanding this channel, and that's what I would truly love to do, but I can't do it without you. So, once again, at the risk of sounding like a parrot, please like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for sticking around, have a good day, and take care.